Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another apartment renovation. So today I am back renovating this apartment, and I forget the address as always, but you can look in the top left hand side of the screen. So if you want to place it in your game, that's where it goes. So for this apartment, I wanted to make it for a single sim who loves to snowboard, because that is a new skill and activity that came with The Sims 4 Snowy Escape. And I also wanted to use platforms in an apartment again. I really didn't go crazy with the platform tool. I really just made a sunken entryway and that was about it. I kind of planned on doing more, but honestly, even though I am so excited about being able to use platforms in apartments, there's really not a great way to upload them to the gallery, because technically you can't make the platform area a separate room from the rest of the apartment. At least as far as I know. If you guys know a way, please let me know, because it would be a huge lifesaver for me. But yeah, I really want to use them more in apartments, but I'm just kind of frustrated that there's not a better system for uploading apartments to the gallery. I don't know. It's very frustrating to me. So I don't know if I will use them as much as I planned on because of that. But either way, the last apartment that I did, I also used platforms, but I did make a note in the download or the description on the gallery, and I just kind of mentioned where I planned on having them and that it was raised and not sunken. And hopefully that's helpful to you guys if you want to make it the same as how I did it in my speed build. But yeah, I'm gonna do the same for this apartment. So if you want the sunken entryway, I just sunk it by one step and you'll just want to make it a room. It makes it a lot easier. And yeah, just make it a room, drop the arrow down one and then you'll also want to find a floor trim that matches nicely. I just found a brown one that I thought worked well with the wallpaper. And so it's not that big of a deal, but I feel like if you're going to get more complicated with platforms and make several different ones that are raised at different levels or lowered at different levels, it's going to get really complicated for people downloading them and wanting it to look exactly the same. So anyways, that's, I guess, my 2 cents on how apartments are working right now. But anyways, so like I was saying, I did imagine that a snowboarder lives here. There's really not too many things that make it feel like a snowboarder's apartment, honestly. I really need to re-download the tool mod and rotate some of the snowboards and skis that are in the build and buy catalog now, because the way they are right now, they'll just lay on the ground, and so they don't make great decorations. But if we can rotate them and place them like they're on the wall or leaning against the wall, it's going to be so much better. And I've actually seen somebody do this. I wish I knew their name. I just saw like a picture on Twitter and I thought it was really creative, but they created a shop where they had snowboards and skis like hanging on the walls, and they used the tool mod. So yeah, I thought it was really smart. I did use the coat rack with the skis though. So it's skis, not snowboards, but I still really liked that it had like the snow gear on it. Of course they could be into skiing. I just have never been skiing myself. I've only ever been snowboarding, so I kind of relate to it a little bit more. And I think that's why I had that in mind. But of course, your sim could be into skiing. It doesn't really matter. They could be into sledding too. I just pictured a sim that likes the snow. And so, yeah, I thought that was a nice decoration. And then of course, I'm using a lot of just clutter and things. I wanted this apartment to feel kind of like a cheaper end apartment. Not dirty or run down. I mean, this is a fixer-upper apartment, so it does have the exposed pipes, it has the breaker box, and there'll be mice and cockroaches and all of those fun things. But I didn't want it to feel like a gross apartment. Hopefully that makes sense. But I did want it to feel like it was cheaper, and I wanted it to feel a little bit more mismatched. And so I was trying to purposely pick things that didn't necessarily go together, but still kind of looked good together, because I don't know, that's just the way I like to decorate. But the couches are really like clean and modern, I feel like, compared to the rest of the apartment. But I thought it was kind of a fun idea to think that maybe they're brand new, and this sim, you know, has a lot of things that are like hand-me-downs, they're thrifted items, they're just things that they've had for years, but they've splurged recently and bought themselves new couches. And honestly, I feel like that's very realistic, because I mean, this is how my home is. I have things that I've had since I graduated high school. I've had things that I've, been, given to me, or been hand-me-downs, or things that I've found at the thrift store or random places. And then I have like a few things that are kind of like nice that I've recently bought that are like brand new, and maybe they don't necessarily match all of my other things. So I feel like that's kind of realistic. Hopefully you guys agree. But either way, I still thought they looked nice in here, even though they don't necessarily match. And then over here is going to be a laundry room. I was considering making this the bathroom and then having the area across the living room the laundry room, but I thought it would be easier to make this a laundry room because there's a spot right like to the right of the window in this room where cockroaches always spawn, and I've made the mistake so many times of blocking this area, and then I go to play test it and my sim can't clean or can't exterminate the cockroaches, and it's so frustrating. I wish there was something that kind of like told you where they spawned, or you had some sort of control over it or something, because it's very easy to block those. It's not so easy to block like the mouse holes or the electrical boxes or the pipes. Those things are easy to avoid and leave alone so your sims can actually get to them to fix them. But like the stinky areas and the cockroaches are a little bit harder to know. But either way, here I'm decorating the bathroom. I tried to separate the bathroom into two different rooms because it was such a long and narrow room. I felt like it was a bit awkward if I was just to leave it open. And it made the shower feel like it was more built in and had like a place to be, at least in my opinion. And then over here is going to be the bedroom. I did consider for a moment giving this sim the new bed from the expansion pack, but I felt like it wasn't right for this apartment. Even though I already gave this sim like nicer furniture in the living room, I felt like in the bedroom too, it was just making everything feel less cohesive. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was my thought process. And so I went with this like Arab mattress type bed. I'm not sure if it is an Arab mattress, but you can find it in the Show Hidden Objects cheat, and you have to have the eco lifestyle pack. Yeah. Sometimes there's so much information to remember, and sometimes I'm surprised if I even get it correct, but I think that's correct. I think you have to find it in game by looking like the dumpsters and like the recycling and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I actually thought this one was nice because it looks like a really old bed. It has like torn pieces on the bedding, and it just looks like this sim has had it for a long time. And so I really liked that. They also have some really nice artwork, especially here in the bedroom. But I was thinking that maybe they're just one of those people that are really lucky and they find great art at like the flea market or the thrift store, and they haven't actually spent a lot of money on artwork. So I don't know if that's a cop-out, but I really wanted to use this art, and I felt like that was kind of a good backstory of how the sim got all of this really nice art, because I really didn't imagine them to be a wealthy sim, and I was trying to make that come across in the apartment, but some things are kind of conflicting with that. But either way, here I'm just kind of decorating the bedroom, trying to figure out things that look nice, and of course trying not to block the mouse hole. But I did use the side table that's made out of a snowboard, so I thought that was pretty cool because I thought the sim had took an old snowboard and made the side table themselves, so I thought that was pretty neat. But either way, this is basically it for the apartment. I'm just adding the final few decorations and we're on to the screenshots. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Life keeps spinning, no one's winning. Are we ever gonna stop pretending that there's no ending? There's no mending. When is this bubble gonna pop? I'm sorry, but our time is up. Whatever we had is long overdue. I know we've had our doubts, and I had no clue what to do. It's an emergency. I gotta break free to find me. Highs and lows is how love goes. Are we ever gonna